Why are some games just so damn hard to learn to play by reading the rulebook? I've been gaming for quite some time now, and one thing I've noticed is a wide spectrum in the quality of rulebooks. Now, I don't mean the quality of the book itself. Some are digital downloads, some are softback A5 size, and some are absolutely lovingly crafted tomes filled with amazing artwork and fantastically painted miniatures. Now, that's not really what I'm talking about. What I mean is the rules themselves, and maybe more importantly, their layout within the book itself. Now, this might be more about how I personally absorb information. I'm much more of an audible and tactile learner rather than a reader. I absorb rules faster by listening, watching, and by doing or playing. However, something I noticed recently has made me look back over the games I play. I recently picked up the Middleearth strategy battle game, the Pelennor Field set, with a friend of mine, and we split the contents between us. He took the good side and I took the evil side. We built them up and we came together for a game last weekend. Now, I know nothing at all about how to play the game. To be fair, I've not even seen the movies. What the f? We sat down to play through the intro scenarios. As everyone had said, they're great. They take you through the rules a step at a time. Amazing, I thought. The scenario certainly pulls back on the rules you need and even has a quick reference guide with page numbers referencing the rules within the main rule book. Even better, I thought. That was until I actually came to play the game. Now, the main rule book is quite the beast. It's 207 pages of stuff in there, which are pretty much all the rules and the scenarios that you need. The problem I had is that some of the very basic actions are not all in the same place in the book. I found myself searching backwards and forwards through a lot of different pages to try and understand charging, for example. Did my orcs get a bonus for charging the riders of Rohan? If 4 of my orcs charged his rider and then he won the duel, does he pick just one to attack or does he attack all 4? These were just some of the basic questions that cropped up where the answers were split across multiple pages from page 24 all the way through to page 63. Almost 40 pages to work through just for fighting after a charge. Even then, we never really found some of the answers, and watching the next day a couple of YouTube playthroughs, I realised we'd missed a lot. The next day I got thinking about this, and was it something to do with had we missed it, had we not read it correctly, or was it just something to do with the Middle-earth rulebook? It then reminded me of a game I was sent to review for a Kickstarter, where the rulebook was, to be frank, so badly laid out, I physically couldn't play the game in order to review it. I tried 3 times to do it and I failed every single time. That's why you never saw it on this channel. I did contact the designer and I shared my problems, and the reply was, yeah, there's a few people have said that. It was at this point I realised how much I personally rely upon demos of games and by watching YouTube playthroughs in order to visually explain what designers are trying to get across. Sometimes a 30-second clip of video can make 3 pages of a rulebook so much more clear. This is why demos at conventions and events are critical too. Now, as I've gone all Hollywood on this channel and started to get a few more viewers, companies quite often send me advanced copies of games and their rule sets to cast my eye over, to play a game of, and to review. And in these instances, this is where learning to play by the rulebook is huge. There's no demos available, there's no YouTube videos to watch, and there's no one telling me that I'm playing it wrong. Much like how games used to be before we had the luxury of people like Rodney Smith and company. Here I have to read, I have to absorb and understand exactly what someone is trying to explain to me just by the text in the book. Now, there have been some excellent examples. Take Kings of War Vanguard. I read the rules once, I knew exactly what I was doing, I played one game, and then I filmed the second one for a battle report, which you may have seen on this channel. I only had to refer to the rules once during that playthrough. It's one of the reasons I keep coming back to games from Mantic. In the main, their rules are very easy to understand. Now, there are some games which are slightly more ambiguous from rule sets, and one of the reasons my 5 rules beginners get wrong videos do quite so well. So for example, the ones I've done on Kill Team and Underworld Shadespire are amongst my most watched videos. Now, I honestly think that these things crop up because of either a lack of time or a lack of resources. Either the deadline to go to print is fast approaching and there's no time to refine those rules any further, or there just isn't anyone available who'll be able to objectively look at the rules without any knowledge of the game And to be able to say, that's not very clear, what does that mean, where can I find this? Now, some rule sets have no quick reference guide, and some games, completely unforgivably in my opinion, have no index for looking up specific rules or situations. Too many rules I've read seem to have been written by people who have so much knowledge of the game that they assume everyone else has too. Or maybe like Middle-earth strategy battles, it's an updated version of the game and the assumption is that everybody already has the basics down. These days there are so many erratas and FAQs released after the launch, it's much like how the video game industry has taken to sort of day one patches and down the line updates. The only reason these exist in tabletop gaming is because things were either missed in proofreading, which happens, or there just wasn't enough playtesting done by people who have no understanding of the game. Things are getting better, however, and a lot of games now take you by the hand, introduce you to the rules by leading you through an example turn. Games like Guild Ball, the kick-off starter set, and Aristia by Corvus Belli do this really well, and they feel like the way video games guide you in by saying, let's start playing and I'll give you the rules you need as and when they crop up. This works well, but I can imagine it takes much more time and effort to do this for a tabletop game. Now, there's quite a famous quote by Mark Twain that says, "I didn't have time to write you a short letter, so I wrote you a long one instead." That really sums up just how much work goes into making rules writing tight, clear, and succinct. Now, being a game designer and a rules writer are often two very different skill sets, and the one that are very good at both are very good. In fact, they're so good, it probably goes completely unnoticed.